I remember the date perfectly. It was a Tuesday. By 5 p.m., I was no longer the person I had been that morning. The company I had spent 15 years building, the team I considered family, the clients I'd nurtured was gone. A perfect storm of a bad investment, a key client pulling out, and market chaos wiped it out. The phone call from my lawyer was the final blow. I sat in my car outside what used to be my office, and I cried. Not a single tear, but deep, guttural sobs. I had lost everything I thought defined me, my status, my security, my identity as a successful entrepreneur. I was just a man in a car, with nothing. The weeks that followed were a blur of darkness. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. with my heart pounding, the weight of failure crushing my chest. I avoided friends. I was embarrassed. My own mind became my worst enemy, replaying every mistake on a loop. I thought I had hit rock bottom. But what I didn't realize then was that rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. And the first lesson I learned was the most brutal. When you lose everything, you are forced to discover what truly remains. And what remained for me wasn't my business card or my bank balance, it was my ability to choose my response. I have a friend, David, who went through a similar collapse. His marriage ended, and he lost his job in the same month. He told me he spent 2 weeks just staring at the wall. His breakthrough came from a seemingly silly life hack. He committed to making his bed perfectly every single morning. He said it was the one thing he could control. That tiny victory, that one perfectly made bed, gave him the momentum to take the next small step, going for a walk, then cooking a proper meal. It taught me that in the face of overwhelming loss, you don't need a grand plan. You just need one small, manageable action to prove to yourself that you still have agency. For me, that action was writing. Every morning, I would write one page in a journal. Not about my feelings, but about one skill I had, one person I was grateful for, or one lesson I had learned from the failure. This practice, which I call inventory of the self, did something powerful. It shifted my focus from what I had lost to what I still possessed. I still had my knowledge, I still had my health. I still had a family that loved me. I began to see that my identity wasn't my company. My identity was my resilience, my integrity, my ability to get back up. The comeback wasn't overnight, it was a slow, deliberate climb. I started consulting, using the very expertise that had built my first company, but this time, it was different. This time, my work was built not on the fear of failure, but on the wisdom it had given me. Losing everything was the greatest education I never signed up for. It taught me that our true worth isn't in what we have, but in who we are when we have nothing. And sometimes, you need to be stripped bare to discover the strength that was always there, waiting.